So may I then humbly request the Minister of Higher Education, Science and Technology to open this webinar, Minister.
Thank you very much, Program Director and Moderator, Dr. Phil Mjwaha, who is DG of our Department of Science and Innovation. Let me also greet our international guests and participants, government officials who are part of this important virtual conference, scientists and researchers, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. In the second half of 2019, the world received the news that a virus of the corona family was causing thousands of deaths, and that its origins was unknown, and that new patterns of behavior must be encouraged in order to deal with the global pandemic. Its official name, as we know, is SARS-CoV-2, but popularly known now as coronavirus or COVID-19. I must congratulate you for having agreed to participate in this very important platform. Because what we are dealing with here is a global pandemic that has disrupted the lives of most people on our planet and the economies of virtually all the countries. Some people compare the extent of the disruptions to that of the disruption and damage caused by the Second World War. This virtual conference underscores the seriousness and urgency with which the South African government is responding to the COVID-19 pandemic, which has already taken more than 2 million lives globally and about 48,000 in South Africa. And of course, this conference is also being convened so that we are able to be in the forefront of guarding against the hijacking of our platforms to deal with COVID-19 and to vaccinate by fake news and other types of misinformation. The fake news and misinformation spectrum is at the heart of the urgent need for this conference, so that we are able to dispel the prevailing myths and vaccines. But as you may well know, it's not enough just to give information, but their giving of that information must be part of a fairly extensive education campaign. And also our attitude must not be a condemnatory attitude towards our people, even those who may have false beliefs, but to be able to engage them and educate them constructively. The other thing that is important, which I am sure that this gathering will do, is to also contextualize the history of vaccines and vaccinations, which are well documented, but they may not be that well known. For instance, Edward Jenner's innovations are fairly well documented, who started by using cowpox material to create immunity against smallpox. Louis Pasteur's 1885 rabies vaccine was the next to make an impact in combating human disease. This point must be made in order to remind the public that vaccines and vaccination did not arise with the outbreak of COVID-19. And also, we need this education and focus because many scientists are telling us that indeed we've truly entered the age of pandemics, and that we'll be lucky if during the rest of this decade we don't have another huge pandemic that will face us. South Africa, through our Department of Science and Innovation, has invested in infrastructure to enable world-class research in genomics, epidemiology, vaccine manufacturing, and other relevant fields. Our department is also investing in human resources development initiatives to ensure a pipeline of knowledge workers to advance the country's scientific endeavors. We are grateful for these investments and to the talent that exists in our country. And indeed, some of our scientists are respected worldwide, and our own science, technology, and innovation system is indeed respected worldwide, though it's not big enough to be able to do what we would like it to do. My department is also funding other important initiatives, like the sequencing of 10,000 SARS-CoV-2 genomes in South Africa and Africa. Our department has spent 69.4 million on funding COVID-19 research and innovation, covering some 21 projects. Some of these projects, very quickly, they include plant-based manufacturing of antibodies for COVID-19. And this study aims to facilitate the rapid development of COVID-19 vaccines, therapeutic antibodies, and diagnostic reagents by utilizing various plant-based expression platforms. The good news also is that our Council for Scientific and Industrial Research, the CSIR, has entered into an agreement with Kentucky Biological Products for the potential manufacturing of the antigen of their vaccine. The CSIR also has the ability to expand their facility for plant-based expression systems to manufacture the antigen needed for the vaccine. There is also another study that we are doing, led by Wits University, that we are supporting, commonly known as the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine trial. We are funding the study in partnership with the South African Medical Research Council. We also do need to say that it is noteworthy that the Oxford vaccine, for instance, is touted as the most suitable for developing countries due to its cost and relative ease of storage. The vaccine is being considered for approval by the European Medicines Agency, whilst approval has already been granted by regulatory authorities in the UK, India, Mexico, Bangladesh, and Argentina. In this study relating to the Oxford vaccine, we have invested a total of 4.5 million rands. But I would also like to say today, it's important that we expand and deepen our collaboration also with China, Russia, and Cuba in the areas of vaccines and vaccine development, as countries that are doing some outstanding work in this regard. And of course, two of them are part of our BRICS, the community that we are part of. As an African country also, I must say before I end, that we recognize the fact that African people have from time immemorial gathered tremendous experience in how to deal with human diseases. It is for this reason that the importance of African traditional medicine has been recognized at the highest level in the fight against COVID-19. The World Health Organization has established a committee to provide independent scientific advice and support to countries on the safety, efficacy, and quality of traditional medicine therapies. We want to say South Africa played a very important role for the World Health Organization to arrive at this decision. We are also, as a result of this, the chair of the WHO Afro-Regional Expert Committee, the African Union and Africa Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. We have therefore also invested considerably in African traditional medicine through our Indigenous Knowledge System program. The DSI, in providing leadership in this regard, we are also working on and have established some legislative framework to deal with this. There is a whole lot of other areas where we have also invested into research. We've also supported, for instance, the establishment of an IK-based health research unit at the University of the Free State, the African Medicines Laboratory at the University of KwaZulu-Natal, the IK-based Indigenous Knowledge-based Bioprospecting Facility at the University of Pretoria, and an Indigenous Knowledge-based Product Development Infrastructure at the CSIR, at the Agricultural Research Council, Innovation Hub, and South African Bureau of Standards. As I conclude, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to return to the point about fake news and misinformation. The current environment is fraught with all manner of conspiracy theories that often result in poor decision-making at both individual and group level. Among these are the 5G myths that have led to cell phone towers being destroyed in some parts of our country. And our country and the public needs to be informed that the COVID-19 virus is purely biological and has no roots in any fourth industrial revolution technology like 5G. I'm pleased that this conference includes a session dedicated to dealing with such conspiracy theories. I must also say, the President has assigned our Department of Science and Innovation to lead an effort working together with our scientists to develop our own COVID-19 vaccines, as well as to increase our capacity to develop other vaccines. And by the way, we also have a further opportunity as South Africa that we are to host the BRICS Vaccine Center, which is another important platform for our scientists to showcase themselves in terms of developing the necessary vaccine that not only just our country, but that the African continent in particular require. With these words, I invite each one of you to engage in an open and critical discussion about the role of vaccination in resolving the COVID-19 pandemic. I hope and I trust that by the end of this conference, you will emerge with a greater understanding of the emergence of new variants across the globe and their impact on the spread of the pandemic. I'm also pleased that apart from your biomedical scientists, we are also drawing in humanities and social sciences as part of this effort. While the vulnerability and helplessness of the poor have become more pronounced with COVID-19, the wealthier classes have been able to cushion and insulate themselves against the worst effects of the pandemic. Therefore, a country like ours is to make sure that no one is left behind and we are able to advance vaccination, especially amongst the poor communities. I, with these words, wish you all the best in your deliberations, and I'm looking forward, DG, to summarize proceedings with recommendations and some major insights that are and experiences that are going to emerge from here, so that we are also able to engage with these going forward. Thank you very much.